Okay, guys, I wanted to do this quick demonstration for those of you working in Adobe CC 2017 or anything later than the version that's shown in the videos and in the book. So it's a little bit different. I just want to show you where these commands are. So basically, I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to get my selection tool over here. This is the same way that we started in the book. I'm on my layer 0, which is the model layer, and I'm just going to start a quick selection here. Let's get the nose in there. Let's get the shirt. Let's get the back of the shirt. And that's a pretty good starting point for the selection. So right down here in the bottom of the layers panel, I'm just going to go ahead and click create layer mask or add layer mask. And that adds that layer mask, but as you can see, it took a good portion of the hair with it. So I'm going to need to refine that mask. And in order to do so, while I'm in this layer here, I'm just going to bring up my properties panel. And with my properties panel open, I'm just going to take that guy and I'm going to say, and the layer mask, these things are jumping around all over the place. Okay, so select and mask. So I'm going to click that. And as you notice, I'm in red here because I'm in an overlay mode and I've got my opacity set to 100. In the video, she's got you on black. You can do it either way. I prefer to see, I think you can see better on this overlay mode. And I always set that opacity to 100 so I can really see. But at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here to this tool right here. And this is called the Refine Edge Brush tool. I'm going to click that. I'm going to get a decent sized brush, not too big though, because you don't want to create any damage. I'm just going to start bringing back some of those spikes. And as you can see, a lot of the spikes of the hair are starting to come back. So I'm just going to paint those right out, get as much of those selections as I can. Don't forget the back of the hair right there. There's some hairs back there. So we want to get this really as fine as possible, this mask refined as fine as, and that's looking pretty darn good right there. It's really looking good. We're really starting to show some great spikes, really showing those spikes in that hair. So I'm just going to say okay on that. Just going to click and say okay. And there's our mask, okay? There's our hair mask that's refined. All right, at this point right now, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you a technique to do the glasses, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into what's called quick mask mode. And this is one of the techniques that's demonstrated in the video. But I want you to notice something here. So I'm going to click quick mask mode. I'm going to go in my brush tool. Make sure I'm my brush tool. Click quick mask mode. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm just going to start painting on that brush, on those glasses. And as you can see, that red that it's adding, that's adding a selection, okay? So I got the glasses. Okay, now what I want to show you right now is pretty important. And I'm doing this quickly. You'll be taking your time. I'm going to Command 0 that to get back out to full zoom. And then what I want you to see is when I exit click quick mask mode, those are selected, but you can also see that this whole area is selected, as you can see, because the outside of the file is selected as well. So what that's doing is it's selecting everything but the glasses. In order to rectify that, I just go up to across the top menu, click select, and I'm just going to say, where is it? So inverse. So I select the inverse and you can see that outer selection is gone and now just the glasses are selected. At this point, I'm going to go back down in here into my layers panel and I'm going to select this icon right here. And this is as you'll see, that'll pop in. It's like create new filler adjustment layer. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to come over and create a hue saturation adjustment layer. Now watch what happens when I click this. Note the marching ants, they disappear. But I do have my hue saturation adjustment layer there. And if I pull up my properties panel right here, we can see that we can go ahead and change the color of those glasses. So I'm going to change them to that really bright green. Okay. Now this is a step that's kind of important because it shows you how to. Now, if I were to do puppet warp right now, just like this, the puppet warp wouldn't take the green glasses with them. It would leave them behind. So what I'm going to do to rectify that is I'm just going to select that layer right there. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say merge down. Okay, now that layer is part of the model layer. At this point, I can go to puppet warp. So I'm going to go to image. I'm going to go to edit, puppet warp. Okay, and I'm going to start laying my pins for the puppet warp. Okay, there's the pivot point as we saw in the video. Okay, and then I'm just going to come lay my last pin right there, and I'm going to come back to my pivot point, and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to Alt click or Option click if I'm on a Mac. Click that guy. Whoops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to click that. Don't Alt click yet or Option click yet. I'm just going to click that guy. And now you see the little dot? That means he's active. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Alt key, press it, and you see that rotate arrow? Now I can rotate the head and the glasses come along for the ride, okay? So at this point, I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to say okay. All right, now you see the glasses, the hair, the spikes, everything are in place. At this point, you would just follow the rest of the tutorial in making that shadow, which I'm not going to do because that's shown in the, well, actually, let's go ahead and do it. Let's select this. We'll select that. And what I'm going to do is create a new layer. Place that layer underneath the model layer so that the shadow is underneath. Then I'm going to go to Edit, Fill, and I'm going to fill it with black. I say OK. All right, now I'm going to move that layer. I'm on that layer now, the shadow layer. I go to my Move tool. I can deselect that now. I'm going to move that. There's my shadow layer. But as you can see, it's just way too dark. So what I can do here is I can just come to my opacity, change my opacity to really bring that down so it looks more like a shadow. At this point, I can place the model wherever I want. I can put them down here, make the shadow any way you want it. I like to see those spikes, so I'm going to put him right there. Okay, now at this point, now everything's great, right? So now at this point, you're going to add the added image. So I'm just going to go over to Edit, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say File, and I'm going to say Place Embedded, okay? I've got the file on my desktop, the one I'm going to place in here. Place Embedded, it's going to take me to my desktop, and we'll find the image I was going to use. I was going to use this tennis ball image right there. We'll place that guy. There's the tennis ball. I can move that tennis ball over there. Okay, now I can click that check mark to place it. So as we can see, we have the background, and this is part that you need to do. So I'm going to select the tennis ball. All right, and then I'm going to mask out the background simply by clicking. Okay, at this point, what I can do now is I can select the tennis ball. I'm going to say Create New Layer. Place that layer under the tennis ball. Go to Edit, Fill, Black, say OK. Go to my Move tool. We'll place the shadow at the same angle. Okay, and of course the shadow is too dark, so let's just go ahead and reduce that opacity to match. We can deselect that. Okay, and that's it, guys. That's basically it. So if you've got any questions or concerns, let me know. But that would be, I'm in Adobe CC 2017. And those of you using earlier versions will find the tools that are more accommodating to the video. But I just wanted to show you this, those of you who are using later versions. Okay, hope that helps everybody. Let me know. Thanks.